bioelectric field that actually is the primary governor of how our body functions muscularly. You have a problem in your bioelectric field, you're going to have repeated problems with that area. Oh, you're not going to be, it's going to be numb. Why is it numb? You've already taken care of the nerve compression. So that exhausts what you know for the immediacy. So now what you need to be able to do is redirect that. Right? If you end up being able to do that Qigong, if after acupuncture, if you end up focusing and having your hand above and like, once you're aware of it, if you're aware and you have both legs, you bring everything back, you go back down, you put one hand above, one hand below, and you just try and send energy through your leg from one hand to another, you'll feel it warm up temporarily. You'll have feeling for a moment. And as you move your leg, you'll actually be able to feel your leg. And then as soon as you take your hands away, it'll be numb again. Because what you do is you're putting that bioelectric energy through it. What you're trying to do is just redirect that current flow that your body did to try and protect you. Essentially, your body said, this is, in your mind, non-functional. So it's saving and conserving energy. So thinking of it as a bad leg is reinforcing that. What it is a healing. You want to think of this as it's healing. What I'm trying to do is I'm slowly going to merge that energy field over. But I don't want to do it fast. I need it to happen slowly. Otherwise, it'll cause me problems. I'll have indigestion. I won't be, because that's too big of a shift in your electrical field at once. Didn't change right away in your left leg. It's not going to change right away in your right leg either. Is this making sense?
Yeah, that's hugely helpful.
So, because the thing is you don't, and that's why specifically when I talked about that bioelectric field, that's what you're rehabilitating in that leg. You're like, okay, here's how you know it's getting electricity. It's got strength, right?
Yeah.
Numbness. That numbness is, because a huge part of what we actually get from our sensation of pressure, a huge part of that actually comes from our bioelectric field. Right? You are getting your vibrational sense through that leg though. Right?
That's
you
true.
You can feel when your leg vibrates, right? When you describe that with your toe, you feel that on both legs. You didn't tell me that you can't feel that portion of your leg vibrating and that feels weird. So you're really just looking at smaller and smaller pieces, because there was a point, unless you'd looked down at your leg, you wouldn't have been able to tell it was vibrating. So it's consistently getting more and more there. These are the things that are going to continue to accelerate the process. Does that mean that I expect you to love that?
No.
Nope. You should feel it the same way you do when something itches and it's been healing and you want to scratch it, but you know that's a bad idea. But it's also a good sign. So you want to think, it's good that it's irritating me because it's healing and it's healing quickly. I'm picturing that energy that's built up on the sides slowly trying to move in. And there's times I may try and concentrate it for a moment to let my leg remember what it's like to have stuff. And just that little bit of feeling that you had, you were like, oh, that was crazy. Right? Being able to have the ankles working is part of the reason I say that you got to end up having this is going to be a big part of what we're going to be doing to balance that flow of the energy of your body. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you very much. I needed to recalibrate. It's easy to get in my head and go into places where I think I just allow frustration to take over sometimes.
Well, I mean, like Greg has been in pain for so long, he finished his surgery, he wants to be done and just doing stuff. And I'm like, no, Greg, we're going to teach you to dance really, really well. We're going to teach you to dance incredibly well. But I also have to change how you think. Because if I can't change how you think, you're going to try and dance the way you did prior to your injury. And we're not going to teach you to dance the way you did before your injury and you felt pain. We're going to teach you to dance better than that. But that means we have to change how you think. You can't keep thinking of you got to do that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I needed that. I needed to hear all of that, truly.
Right. So recalibrating that is part of the plan. and it's going to come, and this is the hardest thing to try and explain, because it's a bioelectric field. What's irritating is your lack of something. So when it comes back, you're going to have less of a lack of something. That's hard to monitor progress in.
Mm.
Yeah, I have less of not this. Because it's not more of something that you're going to experience.
Maybe that's what it is, yes, because I've gotten
Right?
more frustrated since
already, but I want you to think about the fact that a month ago, before you started your acupuncture, you couldn't feel from the top of your leg.
Yeah, I couldn't even feel the crease where your leg meets your groin.
Right. Now, it's really just, you can feel the underhead of your quad working now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you can feel the outsides of the two heads on the middle.
Yes.
Right? Now, the top center, you don't really feel.
No, or over the whole knee, yeah.
But you actually feel all four heads of your quad on the attachments. It's just not the center.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel the sides of your leg here instead of just the meat of your hamstring. Because you only used to feel a narrow strip going down the back of your legs. That was about an inch. Now you feel all of your... That is a massive amount of change. If you'd actually described this accurately to your doctor, he'd have thought that you were lying to him anyway. So it's fine. But you have described it this way to Randy, which is why Randy told you you can't quit going to acupuncture until you have full range, until you have full feeling back in your leg. Randy told you that.
Mm-hmm.
You said, acupuncturists don't have to report back to your doctor, so we don't care. If he says not to go to them, then we'll just tell them, we'll just quit reporting what you're doing with them. But you can't going. Like, that's what Randy said, right?
Yes.
Because Randy is aware of the actual progress. And he also intentionally did not tell you how to report this to your doctor, because then he would have thought that you were just BSing him, that it was not really believable.
Yeah.
Progress you made was. It's going to be probably, I would guess, September, when you have to realize, oh, I didn't even notice there was a difference between my legs. It's not that long.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. I've done the hard part.
July, August, September. That's 5 months.
Which is less than what it's been from the surgery to now. 6 months.
It's less. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, where it comes and goes and you feel it. And when you concentrate, you'll be able to feel it probably in 2 or 3 months, which is really not bad at all. So when we're trying to list what it is that we can do to be able to make it work, a huge part of that is you have to be aware of what it is you're trying to change in your body for it to change. And you've been focusing on something and your body's like, okay, but it's already done that. Right? There's no nerve compression in there. You couldn't actually activate the muscles.
That's true.
It's a bioelectric field.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So bioelectric field is what's creating the imbalance right now, which is why if you can actually, that energy that we have, that when that actually goes in, then all of a sudden it moves, you're like, oh, wow, yeah, I can actually feel my leg. That's so weird. It feels normal. And then you take your hands away and you're like, it's gone. Now it feels, that's what you're experiencing. And that's why you're having a hard time describing it as cold. Because you're like, it's cold, but not cold. Like, yeah, at times it's hotter than the rest of my leg, but it would still feel cold. What it is, dead electrically, magnetic. And when you touch it, it feels like not part of your leg. Well, what part of your body is it that's not there? It's not connected electromagnetically to the rest of your body. You have electricity flowing through, but electricity and electromagnetic energy are not the same, right?
That makes so much sense, yeah.
Cool. Anything else before we sign off, or you're signed up for next week already?
No, I'm all good for next week and the week after.